Terry TFT is becoming Chelsea hate channel. I'm all for the banter, but give some balanced content for older followers of the channel. No one has slagged off Chelsea on this channel. I've quite literally said.
Literally, no one has said anything bad about Chelsea.
We're going to get onto a Chelsea section in a minute. All I have stated is that is there a great gulf and great dichotomy, a huge difference between the attraction of Man United and Chelsea at this moment in time? No. I've said it's fair to say that Chelsea are in a more attractive position because you're better in the league than we are. But is it like comparing Man United to Real Madrid at this moment in time or to Liverpool at this moment in time? No. I think there's a much bigger gap there. That isn't disrespectful.
How dare you say that, bro? Can't say that.
Oh, sorry. That's
you
not.
You can't say that, bro. You can't. If you present an opinion now about a club that you think it's your opinion, by the way, you're slagging off that club. You hate it.
Maybe I have a challenge for you. I'm asking you a question, very quick question. Name one thing you have done in the entirety of the Todd Bowley era that deserves praise, and all three of us will praise you for it right now and for the next 30 minutes.
And on top of that, LB, I also stated that the reason we're looking at two strikers is there's a very good chance that Chelsea get the lap ahead of us. That's not hating on Chelsea. That's pointing out that you have the ability to do that. We're about to go into a Chelsea section talking about a hat trick of hijacks against Liverpool that you could perform. No one has attacked your club. Yeah, maybe Huijsen will. I don't know, but we haven't even got to that section yet, my friend. We haven't even got to that section yet, my friend. They want to join because of football heritage, Mo, is what Jack says here.
What heritage, Joshua? What heritage? Yeah,
no heritage at United. No, you're right.
No, you Liverpool and Arsenal are in my opinion, the most prestigious clubs at the country.
I agree. Absolutely.
The most prestigious three clubs are these clubs.
Speaking of Chelsea, though, there is a story that has come out today that states, and I quote, I've got to put it on the screen, I've got to find it. Here it is here. That Chelsea take the lead in the race to sign Huijsen, hoping to get the deal done before the World Club. Now, this is the player that Liverpool have been heavily linked to in recent weeks. Huijsen, are Chelsea about to perform a hat trick of hijacks against your football club for one of the best up-and-coming centre-backs in the world?
They can perform a hat-trick of hijacks. We performed a hat-trick of wins at Wembley on their head top, so that's a lot more important. Also, I'll be honest with you, I just think some of these footballers aren't that intelligent if they're making such career decisions. I mean, the best thing would be to learn from Caicedo and learn from Lavia, because Wataru Endo is about to be a Premier League champion. Already we won a trophy on Chelsea's head top last season as well, the Carabao Cup. So, look, I question why certain footballers do certain things, and there is a reason why I've stopped doing this whole like, oh, this club is more attractive, blah blah blah, like the stuff that Mo was doing at the start, because people can choose different clubs over the others. You know, Football Terrace just commented Dean Huijsen prefers Liverpool or Arsenal over Chelsea, which is the smart thing to do. I'll be honest with you, we have to keep the same energy, chat. I'm sorry. Because the same energy that Mo has shown Man United, I've got to show Chelsea as well. This is just the truth. Chelsea have ruined players' careers as well. Okay? Can we stop acting like Chelsea have been this like beacon of smart, intellectually correct decisions? 3/4 of the Chelsea fans that come on this channel are, you know, Bowley out and Bluco out and blah, blah, blah. And the other ones are Maresca out, and they don't rate like half of their players. Nkunku, who I wanted at Liverpool, all of a sudden is a shit player. Jackson, who in the first 6 months of the season was better than Haaland, is now all of a sudden crap. You know, it's just so much wrong at Chelsea right now. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm in Huijsen's place, I've got the opportunity to play with Virgil van Dijk and learn off of Virgil van Dijk. Or I've got to go play with Saliba, Gabriel, learn off of them. Or do I go to Chelsea Football Club and partner Levi Colwill in the Conference League or in the Europa League? I mean, it depends, to be honest with you, but any smart intellectual footballer who would genuinely choose Liverpool over Chelsea right now. And they should use the two hijacks before as a measuring stick, because the two players that they hijacked from us are probably, I promise you right here, right now, and people can deny this all they want. Caicedo, when he is alone, about to just sleep, he's staring at the ceiling and thinking, I fucked up. Because he genuinely could have been a Premier League champion, by the way, even last year, because he would have made us astronomically better. But here we are a year later, you know, Premier League winners, and He's currently gonna play Rapid Vienna, on the words of Mo, in the Conference League. So for me, if I'm Huijsen, if I go to Chelsea, I'm gonna regret it. If I go to Liverpool or Arsenal, I've made a fantastic decision. Chelsea are in the tier below because they've had 3 years of just horse shit with the blue co-ownership.
I agree with one thing, that they are a tier below Liverpool and Arsenal without a shadow of a doubt, but I disagree with the decision though. You might look at Chelsea and think there is an opportunity here for me to play every single game. If they play Champions League or Europa League next season, I can be still playing in Europe. I can develop my career, and later maybe I can join Real Madrid from them or something like this. Going to Liverpool, he might not start every game. He might not even start 10 games in the season if Van Dijk is fit and Konate is fit. Yes, he's learning from Van Dijk, but the problem is some of these players, he wants to play in the World Cup. He goes to Liverpool, he doesn't play. He sits behind Van Dijk and Konate. He's not being chosen at Spain to play, to be a starter. He goes to Chelsea, he helps them. He goes to play in the World Cup for Spain. He might start for Spain. That is different than
Why didn't you bring this up in the
Can I just say,
Cunha
hold on. Because Caicedo, though, when he joined when he was going to join your club, he was going to start. I didn't hear you because I was talking.
Why didn't you bring
you
this up in the
rudely
Cunha
interrupted me. You rudely interrupted me as usual and as normal. But instead of me letting me finish, and then you come back and try to ask your question.
Why didn't you bring this up in the Cunha argument?
Because Manchester United is different than Chelsea. And by the way,
Cunha is guaranteed starter at United. Same thing.
I never commented on this, by the way. When people were saying, you're eating the gummy bears again? All right, cool. I never commented on this, Hussam. I never agreed with you that Chelsea and Man United are at the same level. I think Chelsea are above Man United until Amar proves that he can improve the squad to the point that he can be challenging for top 5 or whatever. Chelsea are not being ruled out yet from making top 5, even if they play Europa League next season and Man United don't play anything. I said if Man United get Champions League football next season, they automatically become more attractive than Chelsea. But also the reason why I didn't bring this up, because Cunha, if he goes to Liverpool, he would start. If he goes to Chelsea, he would start. If he goes to Arsenal, he would start. But Huijsen wouldn't start. So your argument is invalid. You just wanted to interrupt, and that's about it. Cunha would start for a lot of clubs, more of them. Huijsen wouldn't start for you. I'm going to give you an example. Huijsen wouldn't start for Arsenal. He would be a rotation player, right? So he might get chosen around in the World Cup. He goes to Chelsea, he starts right away, ahead of older centre backs. But that's your question about Cunha. I'm answering you. I'm going back
to play Champions League football. Does he want to be? Because you're talking about getting chosen for Spain, right? I agree with you. He wants to get chosen for Spain. I understand that. He wants to start for them, etc. You are correct in what you're saying. All I'm saying is, I think you're making this argument way too basic, because I'll give you an example. Currently, as things stand, minimum, you've got 8 Champions League group stage games. You've got the Carabao Cup. You've got the FA Cup. You've got rotation in the Premier League. Arne Slot has shown the willingness to rotate a lot of times. He's rotated Gakpo, Diaz, and all the forwards. He's rotated midfielders. Curtis Jones starts. He's rotated so many players. So it's not like Huijsen won't get games. If Huijsen came to Liverpool, guaranteed he would start 20 to 25 games in all comps. Minimum. He would. So that is enough to get chosen for Spain, specifically if you're playing Champions League football. And another thing, let's talk about Konate's injury record. This is the first season ever he's played 10 games in a row. Ever.
Yeah, but if they tell Huijsen, I'm not sure, Huijsen is a left-footed or right-footed? If I'm not mistaken, he's a left-footed player, right? Is he right-footed or left-footed?
I think he's right-footed.
Does he play on the right side of the Bournemouth defense or left side of the Bournemouth defense?
He plays with that Ukrainian defender. I forgot his name.
My point about this is that if they go to Huijsen and tell him, listen, we're going to go get Osimhen or something, or a striker, we're going to get you, we're going to get a goalkeeper, that's Chelsea team is not that bad. You know what I mean? For Liverpool, you'll have to fight for his place. And I think for him, because he's young, he might choose just
their ability, though.
No, I don't. I don't believe in these things. Really? I actually don't. I've been asked this many times over the summers, and I don't. Me and Dan discuss this all the time, the Chelsea fan, about people believing. No, some of these players want guarantees, especially ahead of a World Cup season.
Yeah, but even these players, if you go there,
like
and you play,
people told me, people go to Chelsea. Oh, they want to challenge. No, they don't, bro. if you're going to Arsenal and you know you're going to be behind Saka, you might not choose Arsenal as a top player, for example, because you're not going to go battle Saka for his position. I don't believe this, by the way. Like, I believe that players speak to the managers about their role at the team before they sign for the club. They just don't go and sign. They definitely go, oh, you're going to come in, you're going to be a rotation player. Oh, am I going to be a starter for you? You have to prove yourself. Well, this club is giving me an opportunity to start right away because they want a center back. Well, we're going to have Konate, we're going to have Van Dijk. Van Dijk signed a 2-year. Konate's about to sign. Well, what am I going to play? Am I going to play against, with all due respect, like Burnley? Or am I going to play against Man City? Or I'm going to play against Arsenal? Am I going to play against the top teams? Or I'm just going to play against the second games? I know that because I spoke to a lot of football players about this, right? And they told me that they absolutely have these conversations with managers before they sign. So this is why I think Huijsen might choose Chelsea over Liverpool. Not because Chelsea are ahead of Liverpool, just because it's a guaranteed start. Of course, Liverpool would be the optimal choice to win, short term.
Yeah, look, I think that this is the thing when it comes to these reports. So, look, Alex Crook said what he said. Some people will believe him, some won't. Liverpool could be Howson's preferred destination, so might Arsenal be. But then it comes down to the conversations with the clubs. And maybe Chelsea is saying first team. First team, unless you're playing awfully, you're a guaranteed starter. Where Liverpool and Arsenal, when you look at your teams, it could be your third choice, and you're going to be used in League Cup games to begin with. You'll be coming on as a sub. You'll be rotated in. If there's an injury, you'll play. And there could be part of him that says, no, I want to play first team football. So actually, when all the offers are officially on the table, it could be the personal terms from Chelsea that end up being more attractive to him in that particular moment in time. You think about Arsenal now. Look, they might lose Saliba in a couple of years' time to Real Madrid. But if you think about Kiwior, his stock has flown up massively in the last few weeks. He's done a very, very good job in this team. So does Howson go in and become third choice? Is he fourth choice there? Potentially. Where at Chelsea, he can be a first teamer. And right now, he looks better than all of Chelsea's centre-backs. Maybe barring Fofana, but he is out injured. Chelsea have also pulled off these deals so many times in the last 20 years and so many times under the Clear Lake regime. I would not be surprised if they're able to sign him. Now, I get your point, Hassan, that you would challenge why Howson would do this, why he wouldn't pick Liverpool. But I do think there are some reasons. And listen, especially if they're offering out those 8-year contracts, they can't amortize the deal for that amount of time, but they're going to probably offer him an 8-year deal, a guarantee of a certain amount of money for a long part of his career. I think all of that, I think that counts. I think look, we know it counts. The players have said it themselves. So Chelsea certainly have a chance in this deal. Certainly have a chance of bringing the young 20-year-old.
Can I ask you about the question then? Newcastle got Champions League football. Where should he go? Because he's a guaranteed starter at Newcastle as well.
Newcastle or Chelsea?
Yeah. If Newcastle got Champions League football, because he's linked to Newcastle too, by the way.
And, so Matt Law has just said, according to Mons, Chelsea lead the race to sign Howson, and their plan is likely to attract him even and their plan is likely to be attractive to him even with no Champions League football, according to Matt Law.
Yes, but according to Terrace,
Chelsea convince these players to join their club, bro. Like, how? When Real Madrid are talking to you and Liverpool, how do you convince these players to join your club? I just don't understand. What do you offer?
Can you both answer the question, please? So Newcastle coming for you, guaranteed starter and Champions League football. Who you choose?
Once you answer me this, Newcastle versus Man United, is it? You said Man United, right?
Yeah, I already said Man United are more attractive than Newcastle. Yes.
Chelsea still.
Mo, using your logic, go ahead.
Chelsea.
For me, Newcastle without Champions League and Chelsea without Champions.
Newcastle with Champions League, Chelsea without.
And Newcastle for me.
Okay, fair enough. Because he's a guaranteed starter at Newcastle too, by the way.
No, I understand, but Chelsea are a much bigger football club.
No, I know. I've had my.
Yeah, of course. It's not even a comparison. The fan base, like everything. A number of trophies, everything. Yeah, just Chelsea are much.
I don't know how Huijsen is linked like Real Madrid.
See, Ali, though, when Ali says it's the money, but Chelsea don't pay anybody above 150k a week.
It's the length of contract then.
Yeah, but that's also an important thing to a footballer. One of the
100%.
one of the reasons why it took you so long to get Mo Salah and Van Dijk tied down is because they wouldn't sign unless they were paid the going rate or given the right length of contract that suited them. That's normal for football players to do that. It's very normal. Very, very.